Well, so I have James and Allison, and they just completed the Learning RX reading program. And Allison, could you tell me a little bit about why or what brought you to Learning RX?
Well, James had been having some trouble in school, and I noticed that he wasn't himself. He was kind of sad, and it was kind of unusual because he had always been kind of a happy kid. And he could remember anything. He's very bright, but I didn't understand why he was struggling so much in school. He had a standardized test, and we were surprised with the results. It was much lower than we expected. And so then he was later diagnosed with ADHD, and so at home everything was a battle. Homework was a battle. Trying to get out of the house was a battle. Everything, and we just were fighting and frustrated. And so, we tried tutors and they helped, but we didn't seem to really be progressing. And so a few people had mentioned the Learning RX program, and I didn't know enough about it, but I went online and I did the test, and so we decided to try it, and he seemed to do very well in the program.
Yeah. So you did 24 weeks reading program. You did all of your training in the center. And what was that like, James?
At first I didn't know what the heck was going on, and then later in to early, I just didn't know what was happening. So
What was happening?
But once I switched trainers, everything started to come to me. So it depended on which person I was with. And
Like what started to come to you?
like after transferring from Adriel, the Shayla really opened up, and that's when I started to get a lot more confident,
Mm-hmm.
and I started getting a lot more chips, and I started passing lots of levels.
Mm-hmm.
And then the time came for me to switch trainers again, and then that was a stump because it depends on what trainer I have and like the personality traits.
Mm-hmm.
So then, my final leg, I switched from Matthew to Jose. It started out as a substitute day, and then he turned into my main trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just went up at these higher rates, faster than I ever could have expected.
Did you have fun?
Yes,
Yeah.
my report card started going up. Organizing started to be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. I remember those pages you brought in from your teacher saying that you were getting 4s, 3s, and 4s in all of your daily activities. That was awesome.
Yes, and on my final session, I made records by getting 200 chips.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the record.
Yeah, it is the record. Did you like coming?
Yes.
How often did you come?
Sometimes it was mainly 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes 1 because I just couldn't get around. This summer,
Yeah.
I just couldn't come.
You're a really busy guy. So you mentioned some of the improvements that you were seeing. You were getting better grades. What about your reading? What have you guys seen?
I could read chapter books in my mind without listening to anybody.
That's
For
awesome.
me, that was my turning point because he would never bring homework home, and especially any reading homework, you couldn't get him to read a book. He had a bookshelf full of books. And as soon as he started this program, within the first week, I found him in his room reading a book for pleasure. No one asked him to read a book. It wasn't homework, and I was amazed. And then there was a series that he would read, and now he likes different series, and he can read anything. And that was huge for me
Mm-hmm.
because I could tell that it wasn't a struggle. Like it was becoming easier for him, and it was a choice that he made to read. So that was really what got me hooked.
I see you over there smiling, James. How does that make you feel? Being able to read those big books.
Plus, baseball even improved when I was with RX because I didn't really focus on baseball when I had any other trainers. However, since Jose knew how to play baseball, and we would always go outside in and throw around the Brady bag. Well, when I came to pitch, that one time I threw at least a strike. So
That's awesome. So you are now ready for the major leagues, and you're reading big chapter books. That
He's
sounds
the next Nationals player.
it sounds
All the
like
sports
a
even.
winner.
Like,
Yeah.
He's in basketball now, and I think it's helped with the eye-hand coordination. There was something else he was doing that made me think that he could, something with the coordination that helped him. So it's and I wasn't even expecting that.
Mhm.
So I think that also helped with his
yeah, video
progress.
games. Yeah, it was video games because I always
Well, he
stood
always
up.
played.
Because I always stood up, and because Matthew would always stand up and bounce around.
That's really good stuff. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing that, and we wish you all the best. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.